Okay, so I tried to do a live stream today, and it didn't work again. So I'm assuming it's on in relationship to my crappy internet out here in the country. It's the only thing I can really think of. The weird thing though is that when I took part in SpoilerCon, I was able to live stream art on their what was it? The oh geez, what's the name of that video chat service? My brain isn't working, probably because I'm like stressed about the technology not working. Anyways, they were running stuff through their tech there, and it was working fine. But I don't know if it's just a byproduct of maybe it's worse right now because of the time of year. It sounds weird, but I know like the technology, I don't know how it all works, but sometimes the weather can really affect the connection. So it's, I guess, potentially there's the cold, I don't know, whatever. I don't understand it all. Anyways, it's super frustrating, and it might mean that I just absolutely cannot do live streams, which totally blows, because I really want to interact with you guys. I really enjoy that. I want to have the opportunity to do that. It would be fun to, and I mean, I know that partly everybody's so busy and there's a lot of stuff going on. So I know that like I may not get a very large audience while I'm doing the live streams, but it's just nice. There's like layers to it, right? It's nice to have the option to do that, connect that way. And then also it's sort of a more immediate medium doing a live stream, because it's streaming, and so it's done. When I'm done, it's done. But now this way, it's just adding layers of production to my process, where I have to now record this video, put the file on my computer, process it through Adobe Premiere, export the video, upload it to YouTube, blah 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 blah. And it's like I don't want my time to be consumed with that. I can do it. It's not like I can't. It's not like that's something I can do. That's what I do in my day-to-day work, is animations and stuff. So I understand the editing process and all that stuff. But I try in my spare time work like this, my sort of like extracurricular stuff. I'm trying to make my focus art. Trying to make the art the focus. So I guess the question is, why in the world am I trying to make videos at all? Well, I guess it's because I do want to grow an audience, right? And we live in the day and age where you kind of need to do that. You need to be on the social media and doing all this stuff to build your audience. It's just part of the thing. So I would rather do that in real time, in sort of a chat environment with you wonderful people, because it's just way more appealing to me. But this is what it is. I have a saying, and it says, "It is what it is. It's not what it's not." That's my saying. And so I'm going to sit here, draw, and talk to myself, which I guess would probably happen anyways if I didn't have people showing up to the live stream. So there's not really much difference, I suppose. I can sit here and pretend like I'm live streaming. Maybe what it is just like, I don't know, maybe I need to set up like a Discord server and be like, hey, I'm drawing. Do you guys want to just come hang out while I draw? And just turn on like, I don't know, record my video and then have just a Discord server running where I can like be in conversation with you guys if you want to show up to Discord and just like talk about stuff. I mean, you wouldn't be able to see my artwork, so it's kind of dumb. I think my artwork is way more interesting than talking to me. It's the whole point of like streaming art live is visual, right? So it'd be kind of dumb. Anyways, I don't know. Freaking, it's ridiculous. I'm frustrated. I apologize to everybody who wasted their time today watching that horribly pixelated video. Hopefully this video goes well, and then I can put it up, and you guys can at least enjoy, you know, take a look at the process when you get a chance on your own time. So I've been talking a little bit about the actor, and kind of the different roles and stuff that people had mentioned that they could see her in. I had reached out. I'm going to just say everything that I said before here quickly, just to recap, because some of you are going to come to this video without going to the live stream, blah, blah, blah. It's like a crazy technical overlapping mess now. But some people had posted characters that they thought the actor Scarlett Johansson could play well in Wheel of Time, and the one that got the most votes, which I thought was interesting and was one that I had thought of as well, was Graendal. And I think it could work. I think she could do a good job because she's, I mean, quite beautiful. She's like quite kind of voluptuous and sort of, you know, that more sort of softer, rounder form of a woman how Graendal is described. So I think she could pull that off physically, and it's like I said in my live stream, I really think she could really carry any character that she's cast as. She's a tremendously good actor. So that's who I've fan cast her as, is Graendal. And I found this photo that I thought, I mean, she's got a lot of great photos online. And I found this one, but her hair wasn't quite right, so I pulled in hair from a different photo of her, and and then I'm bringing in a necklace that's not on this photo and integrating that. So there's always this, when I'm working on these portrait pieces, there's always this sort of like kind of weird dance and overlap of trying to figure out just kind of finding the right photos, I guess, the right content, and it is a little bit of like sleuthing, a little bit of sleuth work to find something to start with, and then often it's like this sort of Photoshop mishmashing, photo bashing process that I go through to get my my photo reference to where I want it to be. So that oftentimes I end up taking pictures of my own hands and stuff like that to integrate into the photo, or into the artwork. I guess it is a photo, into the photo reference, because I don't have what I need in the photo itself, and so I have to make it up. I got to make it. In this case, I was able to just sort of find a variety of photos that I can kind of mash together to get what I want out of it. The other thing is, I feel like Graendal, so the photo doesn't have this like the right kind of design of clothing. So I'm going to be inventing sort of some of the clothes on her here. I don't know if she always is dressed the same way. She probably isn't. I know that like she seems to like to wear these sort of sheer materials that are kind of like pretty revealing. And so I'm going to try to like, I guess, piece something like that together out of my own mind here. And I imagine something with kind of like a lacy collar. So that's kind of what I'm rolling with here. It's tricky though. She's got this in the photo that I'm using for reference. She has this a black brassiere bra on, and it's like covers all the stuff. So yeah, I might just do a bit of a thicker material here in sort of the shape. I like the shape, the curves of the bra. It's quite pretty. So I think I'm going to sort of integrate that into the sheer material that she's wearing, just as like a thicker kind of like maybe like a patterned fabric, and then have like this sort of sheer material over top here. One of the challenges with this is invention, right? So this is where it gets kind of tricky as an artist, and you know, you have to kind of, as an artist, you have to really rely on photo reference. Is the proper way to do stuff, is to actually really rely on photo reference until you build up a visual library, which is, if you look at my channel, I've got videos that are called like building a visual library, where I talk about sort of the development of our understanding as an artist, and our ability to draw stuff on the fly outside of looking at reference images. And that is something that develops, and I mean, that's not a new thing, don't get me wrong. It's not like I made up this idea of like visual library. This is like a common knowledge thing for artists. I don't know who coined it or where it originally comes from, so don't sue me, but it's common knowledge. From an artist's perspective, is this idea of building your understanding of things by drawing, right? So over time, you kind of develop this capacity and knowledge where you can just pull on that to develop things in your head. So I kind of have in mind this idea of the folds of her fabric, the sheer fabric here, kind of like draping. So if she's got her arm back, if the fabric is somewhat tighter, it's going to sort of fold around her shoulder. And there's probably going to be like a couple kind of, what do you call them? Puckerings, I guess. The fabric will pucker a little bit and have these little folds there. Down here, it's just basically going to follow the shape of her, as Robert Jordan would call it, bosom. And we'll just basically, if there's going to be any fold in it, it's going to be sort of curved across there. I feel bad now because I told everybody on Twitter of Time, on Twitter, hashtag Twitter of Time, that I was going to tell them who I had cast her as, and it was going to be this big thing that we were going to talk about while I worked on it, and I never got around to it because I was busy talking about other stuff, and then the technology broke, and now I just feel like I left everybody hanging. They're going to have to wait till this video comes up, and then they might not go back to it because people are busy. That's what happens. So, I mean, like, here's the thing. I feel pretty confident right now with the structure of this already. And I don't know, I'm not going to push it like the painting that I did of Chadwick Boseman. I really pushed the artwork, the drawing, I should say, to like a pretty finished state of a drawing, what I would consider finished state. And it's just not super necessary, I guess, because I'm going to be painting over top of it, and I can just sort of paint and rework. And in this case, I think I'm going to jump into paints sooner because I don't want to, I don't know, I guess waste a lot of time on the pencils, because I'm gonna be going over top of them anyway. So, but I think I could probably actually move on from pencils here right away. The challenge that I'm going to face here, I'm a little bit nervous about. Okay, so just full transparency. I have a hard time drawing women. And it's just, I don't know what it is. I think it's probably because I'm a dude, and maybe I'm more familiar just from looking at myself in the mirror over the years. Also, probably spent an incongruous amount of time drawing superhero guys as a kid, because I was really into comic books and writing my own stories, and I was always, because I was like a young writer, right? I wasn't thinking about sort of equal representation and all that stuff. And so I was just writing what I felt like I wanted to write and draw what I wanted to draw. So I was drawing superheroes, dudes, a lot. And so I got a little bit more comfortable with drawing guys than the female form. And it's something that I've been kind of like, I guess, working at, is getting better at drawing ladies. So, and hopefully I can do justice to this piece and do it well, because, yeah, I don't know. She's like, she's one of my favorite actors, and it would be cool to, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I really like what she did with Black Widow, and I've enjoyed a lot of her other shows too, even like the simple ones. The simple roles that she's played in. I don't know if any role is really simple, but anyway. So I think what I'm going to do here, I think I might actually pause this quick and then get my paints out and start doing some painting, because I feel like the structure is there. Let's see here. Yeah. I'm going to make adjustments as I go through the process, so her nose might be too big. I might have made her nose too big. One, two. Yeah. I think I made her nose just a tiny bit too large. It's crazy. Such a tiny nose. She's got a tiny little nose. How do you breathe with that tiny little nose, Scarlett? How do you fight all those crazy bad guys and not pass out? I'm not sure if I'm making it smaller. I'm just refining it. Anyways, I'm gonna have to fix that when I get into. I'm gonna go over it a bunch when I paint anyway. So just want to make sure that I've got that. There's gonna be shadow in here. Just got this kind of up curl to her hair right there. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna come back. Okay, so I'm just, I decided to do a little bit more work here on the pencils. I think the problem is, like, I just feel unconfident with, like I said, with drawing females, and so I need to have a super concise plan going forward. And so I'm just kind of like mapping out all the stuff here, thinking about like fabric, the way this will all kind of play together. I'm kind of thinking like this sort of like frilled kind of sequins. I don't know, is that the proper term? Sequins, or it's more like a, what do you call it? Like the feathering on an edge of a doily. I don't know what that's called. Sequins maybe is the right word. I don't know. You guys can tell me. But I kind of imagined like a thinner strap and then sheer material kind of connecting, or I might actually leave this section here like just open and then have this kind of material sort of like coming down kind of just below the nape of her neck, down in here, and then sort of coming back up to meet the other side. But it's like a sheer, kind of sheer material, and I sort of thought this would be kind of like lacy in here, kind of like a lace pattern that flows underneath this necklace. It's gonna be quite complicated actually if I do that. So maybe I'll just have a little bit of detailing at the bottom, and then this will just be solid underneath. Same with this. Or like a, not solid, but like a sheer, solid kind of sheer fabric, and then something that runs across the kind of central portion of her chest that then drapes down in this like flowing kind of sheer fabric. I think I'll probably go with something like that. And then also the the sheer fabric on the arms as well, which will kind of obscure the form a little bit because it'll be colored. Yeah, I think that'll work. I think I'm gonna try to, like, when I do this one, I think I might try to be a little bit more illustrative with the paint work. It's a little less heavy. I tend to put my paints on quite heavy. I think that's part of the challenge that I have with drawing females too, is my default treatment of materials is heavy. Even this drawing, you can see it's a little bit like scratchy and heavy-handed. It's just, I'm not super fond of that fact. It's something that I've always kind of struggled with, the fact that I do that. I draw kind of heavily. I would rather my stuff be more delicate and just have more confidence in my line work, because I tend to like have to draw stuff over and over and over again to get the form, rather than, I don't know, just feeling like what I put down is correct. And then that ends up with like this sort of very heavy-handed feeling artwork. And I've tried to change that. I think I've made some progress. I had a professor in university that I was doing a self-directed animation class underneath him, and he was talking about drawing for animation, and he was just saying, like, he was telling me, like, you have to get more confident and just, like, put a line down and leave it. Don't, like, go like this like I do. Over top, over top, over top. It's my tendency. But in general, I'm kind of I lean more towards insecurity than I do feeling secure in life in general. And there's probably like a relationship somewhere there between the approach that I take to art and my life. Feeling like I don't quite get things right. It's funny. I think there's a lot of parallels between the practice of art and life. I sometimes wonder if artists practice in a way that is congruous with their... is congruous? Congruous, yeah, I think congruent with their personality. Curious. So I feel like this is pretty good for the... I think I'm pretty close. The other part of the females that's hard to draw for me is men tend to have more, and it's probably partly to do with the way photos are treated online for actors and models and stuff, but I feel like men tend to have more defining lines in their face, and women tend to be more soft with subtle transitions between planes, which is why y'all ladies are so pretty, I guess. But it's like, just, yeah, it makes it challenging sometimes to figure out where different parts of the form start and stop. There's less like landmarks to work against, I guess, so to speak. So that makes it a bit challenging for me and my brain. All right, kind of trying to erase this grid a little bit as I go here. Parts that I don't really need anymore. I have to do some refining on her eyes. I've kind of gone a little too heavy with my pencil here and kind of obliterating the structure a little bit there. Yeah, anyways. I think that's where I'm going to wrap it up. I'm actually going to end up doing my next pass on the paints and stuff another day or an evening or something this week, or I don't know. I'll figure it out and I'll post that. I'll let you know when I'm going to post that one too. But for now, this is going to be today's session. Thanks, everybody. Until next time, you guys, I will be around. Be good to each other.
If you did like it, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss any of my updates. You can also leave a like and a comment on this video. And if you're really into my work, find me on patreon.com/Corey Lansdell. All right, until next time, thanks very much.